Good morning. Welcome to this online yoga session today. We're going to be doing a seated session. If you're joining us live, then welcome. But I know that a lot of people watch this on a catch-up, so welcome to you too, whenever you join this that suits you. All you need to join in this yoga session, morning Catherine, is a chair. You don't need to have any fancy yoga gear, although I have my yoga gear on this morning because I'm teaching a few classes today. But you really can just wear something that is comfortable, that you can move and stretch a little bit in, and we'll do a really gentle class seated in our chair. So yeah, I'm going to head to my chair. If it helps you to put something under your feet, to have something here, just so that your legs are a little raised, then grab a book or two to do that. But otherwise you don't need anything else particularly. Just a chair, preferably without arms. Although if you have arms in your chair or you're in a wheelchair, that's fine, it's not going to be a problem. So we'll come to sitting in a fairly upright position. The class this morning is a gentle class, but if you have any issues in your body that are causing you difficulties, then just be very gentle with yourself this morning. So listening to our individual body's needs, and having that curiosity about ourselves rather than trying to push ourselves into positions, stretches, or taking movement that we know is not going to suit our body. So, good morning. Hi, Francis. There's little messages coming up, which is lovely to know that people are actually doing this class with me as I sit here. I'm not completely by myself. So yeah, welcome to you. So let's find that comfortable seat, sitting up quite nice and straight, giving ourselves as much space in the centre of our body as we can for our breath. We're going to begin just with a little bit of breath work and then move into stretching through the body. And today I thought, you know what? There's not a lot, perhaps, in life that seems to be changing at the moment. There's a lot of things that are just the same day after day. So I thought I would switch things up a little bit in this class. And normally I go through the stretches right from the feet up through the whole body. I'm going to be very daring today and work the other way. So we're going to begin with some neck release and then work through the whole body. And then we'll end the session with a little bit of relaxation, probably the most important part of the class before we go out into our day. So finding a little bit of stillness to begin with, sitting upright with as good posture as you can manage wherever you're sitting. Perhaps have a little space between your back and the back of the chair, just so that you're holding yourself upright. And then relax all these muscles around here in your tummy, just so that you can allow the diaphragm to drop as you breathe in, creating space for your stomach to expand. Your lungs are filling up with air. And begin to notice your breathing. So we'll come a little more inward with our focus. So whatever has gone on for you today, maybe you've been grabbing some breakfast, maybe you've been out of the house already, or you've been busy, or maybe not. But whatever it is that has happened for you in your day already, just acknowledge that, and then we'll set it to one side and just come into a more inner place of focus. So noticing your breath to begin with. So you don't need to change anything about your breath, but you might want to close down your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or if that's not comfortable, just lower your gaze down to the ground and soften your focus so that you can just bring your attention to your breath. Notice what rate you're breathing at. Are you breathing quickly or slowly? You have tens of thousands of breaths each day, and most of them we don't even notice. So just for the next wee while, we're going to really bring our attention to our breath. Maybe beginning already to make each breath a little deeper, a little longer than the one before. We don't need to put a huge amount of effort into that, but just gradually and naturally being gentle with ourselves, allow our breath to deepen. And let's try to smooth out our breath so that, we can make it as smooth as possible. Notice if there are any little catches in your breath, if it feels a bit jaggedy. And let's try and smooth that out. So relaxing the belly as you inhale, allowing it to fill up. As you exhale, relaxing the shoulders too. Feel a release of tension every time you breathe out. And then not holding the breath at the top of your inhale or the bottom of your exhale, but just noticing that point where the breath changes from an inhale to an exhale, and then back again from that exhale to the inhale. Bringing our attention to that point in the breath where it changes, trying to make that just as smooth as possible. Drawing our attention away from all the distractions of life and in towards ourselves. Smoothing out those hard edges. And knowing that we always have this breath to come back to in moments of tension or stress. We can perhaps just take a few calming breaths. Really bringing the attention to slowing down the breath, smoothing it out, and noticing those points of change between each breath in and out. Trying to relax the belly, trying to relax the shoulders. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere, perhaps in your jaw or your neck. Just give them slight movement as well as you breathe. Lovely. So taking one or two deeper breaths, maybe the deepest breath you've taken all day today. And then if it suits you to sigh out as you exhale, really releasing tension from the body, then do that. And then on your next inhale, we'll take a big stretch through the body. So stretching arms out, and then you might like to stretch your legs away from you as well. Maybe turn the wrists, maybe look up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, coming back into the center, sitting up straight, perhaps giving a little wiggle on the chair just to find yourself in that comfortable, upright, seated position again. And we'll begin to take some circles with the nose. So if you're just joining us now, you'll know that I normally work from the feet up, and I've just decided to change things up a bit. So we have a bit of variety today. As we take these circles, they might be quite small to begin with, but let's try and make it almost an oval so that we're actually looking left to right with a circular movement, but rather than so much up and down movement, making the circle more of an oval shape. And keep breathing as you do this, really feeling into the neck. Noticing if you feel any tension or pain, and if you feel feel pain in your neck at this point, to slow it down, make the circles much smaller. And that goes for anything that we're doing today. If you begin to feel pain or it feels deeply uncomfortable, slow it down. Make it smaller and more gentle. Then change the direction of the circle, so slowing it down and then going back the other way. Perhaps you still have your eyes closed as you're doing this. And just really bringing your attention in towards yourself, into your neck. Lovely. And then the next time that your chin is down towards your chest, lower it even further. You can clasp your hands if it doesn't feel too intense and bring them to the back of your head, allowing your elbows just to drop down. That can feel quite intense for your neck, so if you're not liking that, as you sit up straight, quite a deep stretch into the top of the spine and the back of the neck. If that feels painful at all, release the hands into the lap. But if you're enjoying that deep stretch in the neck, just let the natural weight of your arms draw your neck down into that stretch. So we're not pulling on the head at all, just resting our arms almost on the back of the head. Keep breathing. Very gently, if you have your hands clasped, release them and bring the head back up to center. You can open your eyes if they were closed. I'm going to take one more exercise with the hands clasped behind the head here. So raising them up and bringing elbows forward, we can begin to raise our elbows and our gaze upwards. So again, feel into your back and your neck here, and only do this if you're not feeling any pain. What we're doing here is inviting a very gentle back bend into the middle and upper back. Take a few breaths here into the front of the body. Imagine your chest lifting towards the ceiling. If this is painful for you, you're not able to do this, let your arms rest in your lap. A gentler option would be to just support your lower back as you open your chest and look up. One more deep breath here as you hold this stretch. And then release the hands. Again, take a shrug with the shoulders in either direction, and then we'll begin to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. So again, sitting up nice and straight. It doesn't matter how far your head goes. Your neck might look fairly upright for you, but just drop that right ear towards the right shoulder without raising the right shoulder up. So keep shoulders relaxed. If you enjoy this stretch for the neck, once you've checked that that left side of the neck feels okay, you might like to stretch the left fingertips out away from you, kind of increasing the intensity of that stretch. If you really want a deeper stretch, bring that right arm up and over the head to cradle the right ear. And then again, use that just the natural weight of your arm to draw your head down into a deeper stretch there. And take a couple of really deep breaths as you hold this. Really using your breath, imagining that that oxygen is flowing to this stretched out part of your neck here. Release that upper hand if you had it over your head. You can even use the hand to push your head back up gently to center, and then begin to drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. So again, feeling into the neck, allow the shoulders to relax. Maybe stretch those right fingertips away from you this time. Feeling into that right hand side of the neck that's stretching out there. Maybe you'd like to bring that left hand up and over the head. So cradling the ear, letting the natural weight of your arm draw your head down into that deeper stretch, and really use your breath here. So every exhale, try to find some release in this pose. If you're holding tension, use your exhale to release that. Mind let gravity do the work for you here. Lovely. On your next inhale, release that hand if you had it over your head. Bring your neck gently back up to the center and just come back to sitting up straight again. Bring the shoulders up to the ears on your next inhale. As you exhale, release them down. And we'll take some shrugs backwards. So inhaling to draw shoulders up. As you exhale, draw shoulder blades back towards each other and then release them down the back with that exhale. One more of those. And then bring palms face up as if you're holding two plates out in front of you, elbows close to the body. This time draw the hands out and open, so you're squeezing your shoulder blades together at the bottom there, at the back of you. Inhale to draw them up the back, forward, and release them on that exhale. So inhale, squeeze together and up the back. Exhale, forward and down. Lovely. If this feels too intense, just take a gentler shoulder shrug with your breath still. Just gently easing out the shoulders. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath as you do this, really drawing that focus inward again into the breath, into this movement, and relax the hands there. Let's take some circles with the wrists, just easing that out. Maybe you can hear some clicks in the wrists as you do this. Involve the fingers, giving them a wiggle. And if you have any arthritis in the hands or the finger joints, it's really good to do this just every day. Keep them moving, keep that movement in all of the joints. Lovely. Give them a good shake out there. And then press your palms away from you, out ahead of you. Almost bringing the shoulders forward as you have palms face up. Notice where you feel that stretch as you really press your fingers up and away from you. You can spread your fingers as well. And then let your palms come down, drop them right down as far as they'll go, and feel into the back of the wrists as fingers point down towards the floor. Lovely. Notice where you feel that stretch and keep breathing here, sitting upright. Lovely. And then bring fingertips to the shoulders. We'll take some circles with the elbows, bringing them quite close together as they come forward and up to separate. Breathe as you do this, so breathing in and out as shoulders release down the back. Well done, one more of those, and then we'll change the direction. So coming up the back, shoulder blades squeezing together, elbows come forward and down as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just taking some nice big circles, feeling into the shoulders as you do this. Again, feeling that release of tension with every exhale. Lovely. And then release that. Take a couple of shoulder shrugs, just releasing tension in the neck and the shoulders. Lovely. And then we'll bring that right forearm up in front of us, palm face towards us, elbow kind of at shoulder height. And then bring the left arm down and around, underneath it, and wrap it up around. If that's too intense for you, don't knock yourself out trying to tie yourself up in knots. Just bring your hands to the shoulders instead in a much gentler form of this stretch. Sit up really nice and straight, so draw the tummy in a little here. But if you're going for this full kind of eagle arms, you can try and wrap your left fingertips round into the palm there. And then bring elbows up and forearms away from you if you're taking this deeper option here. You can drop your chin to your chest And take a few breaths into this space at the back of the body as you hold this stretch. Imagine the shoulder blades separating at the back of the body. If you have your arms in that gentler form, hands just wrapping or on touching the shoulders. Again, drop your chin and feel the space opening up at the back of your body here. Imagine that you're sending your breath into that space that you're creating there. If you feel any pain in this stretch, either release from the full eagle arms to this gentler stretch, or just feel free to take a break with hands in the back, in the lap, sorry. Release the arms there on your next exhale. And then we'll bring that left arm up. So palm face towards you, forearm straight up ahead of you. And you can wrap that right arm under and either joining the palms together ahead of you, elbows move up and forearms away from you. So from the side, it looks a little bit like this. So we've got quite a rounded upper back here. That gentler option would be just to release the hands to the shoulders, still creating the space in the upper body here. We'll be dropping the chin slightly towards the chest and then taking a few deep breaths, imagining that oxygen travelling to the space between your shoulder blades. Perhaps one more breath here. And then on your next exhale, gently unraveling yourself, give a few shoulder shrugs, just notice where you feel that, maybe turn the head, release any tension. Lovely. And then taking hold of the back of your chair, we've done a lot of breathing there into the back of the upper body. I'm going to open up the chest space. So either taking hold of the sides of your chair at the back, or turning on your chair and clasping your hands behind you. This is another option. And then reaching the hands out from the body, opening up the chest and just bringing your gaze up slightly. So not craning the head back, but just bringing the gaze up. If you're holding on the back to the sides of the back of your chair, you can lean forward and open up the chest. Draw the tummy in here so that your core muscles are lightly engaged as you breathe. Imagine that you're sending your breath into this front space of your body. This is a really nice stretch to do at various times in the day if you spend a lot of time on a keyboard or sitting at a desk. Opening up the shoulders at the front and the chest. So gaze is slightly up. Few nice deep breaths. Lovely. And then gently releasing that. Bring your spine back into neutral, very gently. And with feet just fairly flat on the ground, palms, hands on the thighs, we'll begin to just warm up the spine by taking that cat-cow movement. So alternatively rounding down into the spine and then stretching it out. So make this quite a gentle movement to begin with. As you exhale, rounding through the spine, dropping the chin. Inhaling to open up that front part of your body, looking up, opening up that chest area as we just did. If you're really enjoying this and want a more expansive movement here, you can involve the arms as you breathe in, opening them up. As you breathe out, drawing everything back into the center, really rounding out through the spine. But feel your way into this movement with your spine. Each of our spines, as we do this, are very different. Some of us might have issues in the lower back. Others of us perhaps stiffness in the upper spine. So just having that curiosity about the movement in your own spine, that flexibility, and just trying to maximize that for each of us, rather than pushing push ourselves into something that we feel we should be able to get into. Lovely. Come back into neutral after that, and we'll take a side stretch. So lying that right forearm across the lap, reaching up with the left arm. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, side stretch there, over to the right. As much as possible, keeping that left shoulder open, so not collapsing forward, but really creating as much space in the side body as we can. Breathing in, come back to center there, and then left forearm comes across the lap. Inhale, the right arm lifts up. As you exhale, stretch over to the left. This time imagine that you're sending your breath into that side body there on the right. All the side ribs on the right hand side of your body, stretching, opening, and the breath moving into the muscles between them. Inhale back up to sitting, and we'll take a twist on each side. So an inhale to find real length in the spine. As we breathe out, almost walk your hands around with a straight spine, so the twist is coming from the middle of our spine here, and we're not craning our neck around. Our head can be pretty much in line with the front of our torso here. As you breathe out, relax the shoulders. And inhale, walking the hands back to center. Another breath in to find length in the spine. As you breathe out, we'll walk the hands this time over to the left. Let's find a comfortable place for this twist to end. So if that's taking hold of the back of the chair, drawing yourself around into a deeper twist, that's fine. But it might be a gentle twist with both hands just coming to the outside of that left leg. Draw the tummy muscles in here to give yourself space for the twist. And as you exhale, release into the twist, relax the shoulders. Lovely. Walking the hands back to center, come back to that neutral spine, sitting up straight in the chair. As you inhale, you're going to send the arms wide and up, look up. Exhale to reach forward, all the way forward, and we're going to round down over the spine as we finish that, stretching forward. And then rest here for a breath or two, trying to let the head and the neck hang heavy. Inhale to slowly walk the hands up the legs. Come to sitting back up straight. Lovely. And then we're going to do that a couple more times, but beginning in our mountain pose. So palms face forward, arms down alongside the body, feet really grounded on the block, your book, the floor, wherever your feet are. Lift up your toes just to begin with, and then replace them on the ground. Just really feeling into that sensation of connecting with the ground, the soles of your feet. Take a couple of breaths here. Allow the shoulders to come back and down the body. Palms face forward, fingers wide open. Sitting up nice and straight. I'm feeling a sort of center of gravity that we have whenever we come to sitting, just really up straight here. Feeling your sit bones